on the globe. It's a visionary peeking out the window of my soul. Might just fall back, lend a helping hand and play my role. You ain't all that in the mirror oversold. Call me Reason A, aka Malcolm XL. That's a big pun, bigger punishment. I give him hell, getting done. Keep it blunt enough, you can't cough drop. Tell them hard for their health.
Al fin han encontrado el negrito con los.
A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Today, we kick off the new year with an NFC North matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Get strapped in. It's just about time to get the party started. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. He brings the kickoff back 85 yards. And the Vikings get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag. And that flag accepted. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, second down. The Vikings here hosting Green Bay in the season opener, and they've got one of those quirks in the schedule that is going to work in their favor. They play all 3 of their division home games in the first 5 weeks of the year. After Green Bay today, they'll host Detroit in week 3 and then Chicago in week 5. On second down, it's Jones. 7 yards there and a first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Again, it's Jones. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They're going to run the jet sweep. It's Cobb with it. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a first down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Rodgers, and this is caught. Mercedes Lewis with a grab. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 40. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. They go back to the ground with Jones. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. This one out quickly to Watkins. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 24-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Jones. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. 2nd and 4. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And just a couple yards there down to the 17. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6.
Nice chunky yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. To throw on 2nd and 6, Cousins. He's going to float this one deep right side. Oh, a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Turns into a long play on the post route, but he was there. What makes that so tough to defend?
When you run routes that pull extra defenders away from the middle of the field and leave it open for a one-on-one, and your quarterback manipulates that defender with his eyes, you can often get a big play right down the middle.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw complete to Rager. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. Touchdown! Kene Nwangu. A touchdown on a kick return, and now one through the air. And the Vikings have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point by McCann, up and good, and it's now 14-0. McCann's got it teed up. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
On 2nd and 7, Rodgers. But he hits his target, the tight end Lewis. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he will have a first down as they get into the ground at the 37. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Rodgers now on first down. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Rodgers going to throw. This is Cobb with a catch right side. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. Now a first down carry by Jones. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
And here's Jones again on 2nd down. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 2 minutes gone by, 2nd quarter. They'll go again to Jones. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
The start of this game has me doing flashbacks and remembering when I was playing and seeing a similar start and seeing the head coach actually take a timeout and gather the whole team around him and tell him everybody to get it together. Let's get some focus going here, because maybe he just sensed that maybe the whole team wasn't ready to play.
Yeah, well, they've gone interception, now fumble. Cousins now after the fumble recovery. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Basically, you're not going to outwork 2 guys very often.
Double coverage. I thought he was going to go somewhere else for the football. I get it. That's a stud wide receiver. You want to try to get him the football.
Yeah, sometimes you rely on him a bit too much. You forget the other options that are out there.
And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Open man, it's Rager. He's got it. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Cousins now. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Adam Thielen, a terrific wide receiver and synonymous with Minnesota football. You go back to high school, college ball in the state, and now his 9th season with the Minnesota Vikings. 10 touchdown catches last season, makes a nice catch there.
Gun.
Cousins on 1st down. A quick throw, but incomplete.
What will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Back to the ground, Cook. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Eluding the pressure right. His pass caught at the 4. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. He was out there waving his arms. When you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found...
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And the Packers are going to have it here at their own 15. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. To throw is Rodgers. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty. That was pretty obvious. He didn't let him catch it.
Agreed, and what's hard is you make that long run downfield to try and cover it, but you got to locate the football as well.
Now it's 1st and 10 after a costly penalty there on 4th down. Play action now. Cousins escaping the pressure right. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
Nice job escaping the pocket. And, boy, he took the shot downfield towards the end zone, didn't he? Trying to go for 6. It just wasn't there against that coverage. They were ready to prevent the big play.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Cousins. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Cousins to throw for it on 4th. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Jalen Reagor, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. McCann's got it teed up. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Troy Apke. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. I mean, at this point, CD, what is not going their way in this first half? After that pick six, they now have a 4-possession lead here.
And that allows them to say to themselves, how about we get everybody involved, okay? Because this one is a runaway, and it's looking like it's going to be even more of a runaway. Everybody gets a chance to play and get a little bit of love. The more guys that get to watching the highlight reels from this one, the better.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively offense. And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked off by Troy Apke. And the Vikings are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope. I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half. This carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Vikings. Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. The PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play. So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line. Rodgers will bring the Pack up with a 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball. Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Rodgers to throw for it on fourth. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Troy Apke. And the Vikings are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here. And
it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
On second down, Cook. And he'll get about 3 out of that up to the 39-yard line. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
On play action, Cousins. They'll roll him out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
Well, the best don't mind making tough throws, but that was a real difficult one right there. Out of the pocket, trying to beat double coverage. More times than not, that's going to end up as an incomplete pass, if not worse.
Fourth down, Cousins. Flushed out right. Able to find Isabella. And he is going to pick up the Vikings first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. So not only do they convert on fourth, but they pick up 22 yards in the process. Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook, and they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. They'll send a receiver in motion left. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That'll be complete to the running back, Nwangu. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. McCann's kick is good. That kick, by the way, Charles, a career long.
Well, we did watch him in pregame, and he hit from this distance, so not a surprise. But there still is something exciting about it, carrying it over from practice and pregame to actually doing it in live action.
Now, this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
On play action, now Rodgers. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And my goodness, another interception. And the Vikings are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, he reminded us that he was a 1,000-yard receiver a year ago as he starts off week 1 picking up right where he left off. He told us at the end of the preseason he was primed for a big year. He just gave us excellent evidence.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
It's Preston Smith. He gets the sack there.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Throwing his Cousins. He'll let this go for the end zone. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown.
Justin Jefferson.
Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend.
And the Vikings take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points.
And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield.
This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 16. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Rodgers. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this 3rd quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick 6 is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here, and that one, it backfired in a big way.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
I'm the best, I'm the best, as you know. And I got it, on my own. Get my way up, get on, go, get on, go. If I touch it, then it's cold, then it's cold. I'm the best, I'm the best.